Hello Year 3 and welcome to another math lesson. We're going to get started straight away. So here is your do now. So today's do now is going to be focusing on fractions of amounts. So you've got three different bands here. Think about what we talked about with our fractions of amounts. You'll need something to write with and something to write on. Press pause, and when you're ready, press play so we can check these answers straight away. Fantastic. If you need any more time, press pause. So with fractions of amount, this is over here is your key information. You divide by the denominator, our bottom number, and multiply by the top number, which is the numerator. The denominator shows us how many equal parts there are all together. The numerator, the top number, shows how many equal parts that we're trying to find out. That is fractions of amounts. Divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. It's as simple as that. You need more practice of that. We're going to be carrying on practice it when we get back to school. So today is actually, I haven't realised I haven't said exactly what we're going to be doing today. So today we're going to be doing a review on time. We're going to be doing a review over the next 2 lessons, and we're going to recap a couple of the topics that we've looked at. So topic number 1 we're going to look at is reading intervals on an analog clock, which is going to then help us to tell the time within 5 minutes and 1 minute on an analog clock. Then we're going to tell the time using a digital clock, and then we're going to combine reading the analog clock and the digital clock in doing some matching and also writing the time on a digital clock from looking at an analog clock. This is all information that we have covered before, but it's just a chance for us to get more comfortable with it. So let's have a look at today's star words. Remember, my turn, your turn. Minute hand, hour hand, interval, which are these little periods of time here, analog. Then we have digital, colon, minute, hour. Good. So think about those 2 images of the analog clock and the digital clock. So moving on, quick recap. When we tell the time, we either say it's past or to the hour. Your key part of your clock, thinking about whether it's past or to the hour, is your minute hand beyond the half past? So the 6, the bottom of the clock. If it's not, we then say it's past the hour. 5 past, 10 past, quarter past, 20 past, 25 past, half past. If it is after this half past point, we say it's to the next hour. 25 to, 22, quarter to, 10 to, 5 to, o'clock. That is probably one of the trickiest things with looking at an analog time. So just remember that. Think of your clock is divided in 2. Anything where the minute hand is after the half past point is going to be to the next hour. What does the long hand represent? What does the long hand represent? Just have a think and say it out loud. The long hand represents the minute hand. Very good. What does the short hand represent? It represents the hour hand. Fantastic. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and then we are going to have a look at some examples on the visualizer. So here I have got a couple of things. I've got a clock and I have got some steps to success. So we're going to first have a quick recap of looking at intervals of 5 minutes. So 5 minutes. So this is your steps to success. I'm going to read them through and then we're going to apply them to this time. We're going to have a couple of examples just so we can practice. Okay, so your first step to success is identify the minute hand. The minute hand is the longer hand. So is it past or to? So remember, this 6 is your magic line. Is this minute hand before or after the half past point? No, it's before. So we know that we're going to, our sentence structure for our time is going to be minutes past. So remember, it's got that past in the middle. So it's past. We're going to count in fives from o'clock, and then we're going to identify where our hour hand is. Okay, so we've already done step 1. It's past. Step 2, we're going to count in fives from o'clock. So here is o'clock. Counting with me, 5, 10, 15, 20. So I already know my time is 20 past. Now we need to identify our hour hand. Where is our hour hand? The hour hand is the shorter hand, and it is in between 8 and 9. But because our time is past, we're going to say it is 20 past 8, not 20 past 9. It's 20 past 8, because remember, until we're past this half past point, we talk about the hour we are in. So it's 20 past 8. Good. Let's do another example. So what is the time on this clock? The time is right. The time is, so let's do the steps to success. So minute hand. Minute hand is the longer hand. Is it past or to? It's not beyond the half past, so it is past. We're then going to count in from o'clock in fives. 5, 10. That's right, what we know so far. 10 past. What's our hour? Let's look at the hour hand. It's the shorter hand. Where is my hour hand? It is at 1. So the time is 10 past 1 because we're not looking at to the hour, so which means we don't look towards the next hour. So done 2 examples with to the hour there. So we're now going to 2 examples with past the hour. We're now going to look at an example of part of to the next hour. Getting all my words mixed up today. So let's see what the time on the clock is. So the time on the clock is, this is our time. So first step to success, where is our minute hand? Here is our minute hand. It is the longer hand. Is it to or past? It is past our half past point, so we know it's going to be to. So our sentence structure is going to be minutes to it's 2. So what we're going to be doing is then we are going to be counting in fives towards o'clock. So count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it is 20 to, then we need to look at our hour hand. We need to look at our hour hand. Our hand is shorter. Where is it? It's in between 3 and 4, but it's 20 minutes to 4. It is 20 minutes until it is 4 o'clock. It is not 20 minutes to 3 because this minute hand was here for 3 o'clock. So it's 20 to 4. Let's do another example. Let's see where my clock is now. So, minute hand. Where is my minute hand? First step, my minute hand is here. It is my longer hand. Always remember that minute hand is longer. Is it to or is it past or to? Beyond the half past point, so it's 2. I'm just going to write that there because I know it's going to be 2 already. Then is it going to, so we need to count in fives, 2 o'clock. 5, 10. So it is 10 to. Right, hour hand, shorter hand. it's in between 5 and 6, I know with 2, I'm going to look towards the next hour, and my next hour is 6. So my time is 10 to 6. So that is 5-minute intervals. We're now going to look at 1-minute intervals, and it is pretty much the same method. We just got to have to add one more step. So this first step we'll be familiar with. Identify the minute hand. Is it past or to? This one is past, because we can see we haven't crossed our half past. So I'm just going to write past so we remind ourselves that's what we're looking at. So if it's past, we're going to count in 5 to the nearest 5 that we can see to from o'clock, and then we're going to count in ones. So 5, 10, I'm going to count in ones, 11, 12. So it's 12 past. Where's our hour hand? Shorter hand. We are looking at past, so it is past the hour 6 o'clock. So it's just been 6 o'clock and it's now 12 minutes past. So it's 12 past 6. I'm going to do a quick another one. I'm going to give you actually a chance to do this one. So you might want to pause or just say the steps aloud with me. Okay, identify the minute hand. Is it past or to? It is past. Well done. Past that half part. It's not past that half past point. So what are we going to do? We're going to count from o'clock until the nearest 5 and then count in ones. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22. So it is 22 past what? 22 past. What's going to be our hour? Our hour is our shorter hand. Our hour is, say out loud, 10. Well done. It's 22 minutes past 10 because we've not passed the half point. So we know then it's going to be past. We're going to be going to that first hour. Right, let's have a look at counting to the nearest hour using our step success. Right, identify your minute hand. Is it past or to? I hope by now we should be able to look at this and identify that it's past my half past, so it is to the next hour. So again, I'm just going to write this here to help as a bit of remember. So when it's 2, I'm going to count in ones and 5s. So what I suggest is you count in ones to the nearest 5. 1, 2. And then I'm going to add on, I'm going to count on my 5s from here. So 2, and then I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. It's 20, so 4 groups of 5, and then I'm going to add on my extra 2, 22. So it's 22 minutes, not 22 minutes to, and where's my hour? My hour hand is in between 1 and 2. That means, and it's closer to 2 because it is to the hour. Sorry, mind went a little blank there. Right, let's have a look at our screen here. So you can see here, this is going through again our step success. Take a look at that. Maybe see if you can talk through those steps success to yourself. So you are now going to have your own little task, which is going to be you're going to write the time in words. So grab something to write with. So you need to identify the times on these two clocks. So press pause when you are ready, and then when you are good to go, press play, and we'll go through the answers straight away. Fantastic. Your time should be, for number 1, should be 4:05, and number 2 should be 22:06. Remember that this minute hand here has passed us half past point, which is kind of our magic point for telling time. So we've actually already had a look at on our examples at looking at to 1 minute. So this should actually be a bit of a recap. So remember our step success for telling time to the nearest minute. So we first of all identify our minute hand. This is our minute hand. Is it past or to? It is not past our half past point. So we are going to be saying it's past the hour. So then we're going to be counting in fives from o'clock to the nearest 5, then counting in ones. So count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. So it is 27 past. And where is our hour hand? Our hour hand is that shorter hand. It is at 4. So it is 27 past 4. With the to the next hour, it's exactly the same, but we just need to, we're counting to the nearest 5 first. So identify your minute hand, the longer hand. Is it past your half past? Yes, so we know we're going to be looking to the nearest hour. So we need to count on from the minute hand in ones and fives to o'clock. So let's count on in ones. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to just count on our fives first and then add this ones afterwards. You might like to add the ones. You might be able to add the fives on as you're going, but I like to do it this way. So 5, 10, and then we've got 3. So the time is 13 minutes. Past, and the hour hand, remember 13 minutes to, not past, we're doing 2. And then remember, we're looking at the hour hand, the shorter hand, and because we are on 2, we're looking to the next hour. So 13 minutes to 3. So you've now got an example looking at minute intervals. So I suggest that you get something to write with and something to write on and have a go at these ones. Press pause, and when you're ready, press play. Remember to use your steps to success. Perfect. If you need a little bit more time, press pause. Otherwise, we're going to go straight into the answers. 7 minutes past 2 and 9 minutes to 5. Remember, we've used those steps to success. The key one with an analog clock is whether it's to or past the hour. And if it's to, remember, when you're writing the time, you're talking about the next hour. Okay, so digital clock. Digital clock is everywhere. We use them lots. So the digital clock, what is mainly different is that we have a colon here which separates the hours and minutes. We write everything in numbers. We can only see that time. We can't see, for example, as you can see here, I've got an analog. You can't see, for example, how the clock is moving around the hour. So this is why we don't say 1:45. We don't have, for example, it written as the minutes first. We always have the hour first, and then we have the minutes. I've included this clock here as well because it has the different intervals of 5 as you're going around the clock. So when, for example, if your your clock was, your minute hand was here and your hour hand was here, it is still in the hour of 6. So that would be 6:40. We don't say 20 to 7 because we always say the hour first in a digital clock. So having a look at this digital clock here, what is the time? So remember, we read the hour first. The hour is 8. 8 hours have passed. How many minutes have passed? 10. Okay, with the next one, say out loud for me. The hour here is 4 hours first. And the minutes is 36. Fantastic. Ooh, that's a bit of a crazy 3. So we've done this. We've looked at reading the digital clock. We're now looking at the analog clock, reading an analog clock and writing that time on a digital clock. So these are what you need to remember, what you need to look at. So first of all, you need to read the analog clock. And that is just going to be using our steps to success as we normally do for reading analog clocks. So minute hand, is it past? Or 2, it is past. So let's count. I can see it's in between the 5-minute intervals, so the 2 and the 3. So I need to count on in 5. 5, 10, counting on in 1s. 11, 12, 13. So the time on the clock is 13. I'm just writing it in numbers here just because it's a little bit easier for me. And then it's past. Remember, it's past. Our hour hand is the shorthand, and we're going to be looking at the number that it's closest to. It's 13 minutes past 6. So the minute hand is pointing at 13. The hour hand is pointing at 6. This means that 6 hours have passed and 13 minutes. So then I would write here 6 hours 13. The time is 6:13 or 13 minutes past 6. If you want to go through that again, maybe have a look at it without any writing on and work it out yourself, absolutely have a go. But here you've got one for yourself. So I would suggest you press pause. You don't have to write this one down, you can just say it out loud. When you're ready, press play. Fantastic. Right, let's read this analog clock. Minutes, longer hand. Is it 2 or past? It's past. Counting on in 5s and then 1s from our clock. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's 18 minutes past. Where is our hour hand? Our hour hand is shorter, and it's because we haven't gone past. We're going to take it to the hour, this hour 5, because our hand is closer to 5, and also we are saying it's 18 minutes past 5. It's 18 minutes since it was 5 o'clock. So our minute hand is pointing at 18, our hour hand is pointing at 5. How many hours have passed? 5 hours have passed. How many minutes have passed? 18. So our time on a digital clock is 5:18. Right, we're now going to match a digital clock to an analog clock. So I'm not going to give you an example of this because it's pretty straightforward. So remember, you need to work out what the time is on this clock first, and then, just as we did before, write it out. The minute hand will be pointing at what, and the hour hand will be pointing at what. So remember, it's your hour is going to be, this number is going to be first, then your second number. So your minute hand is your second number. So press pause to complete this now, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so what time is it on the clock? How many minutes past it is? We're looking at the minute hand, which is longer here. Is it past or 2? It is past because it is half past. So the time on the clock is 30 minutes past, whereas our hour hand is in between 12 and 1, but because we're still talking about past the hour, it is going to be 30 minutes past 12 or half past 12. Our minute hand is pointing at 30. Our hour hand is pointing at 12. So in my hour column, I need the number 12, and in my minute section, I need 30. A doesn't have that, B doesn't have it, C does. 12:30 on a digital clock is the same as 12:30. So hopefully that's given you a bit of a recap of what we've done with time. You've got 3 different sections, which is just pretty much going through just as we've done in the lesson. There is also a challenge. Upload your work to Seesaw when you're done. Any questions, bring them up in your briefing or when you submit your work on Seesaw. Have a fantastic day, Year 3. Bye.